Hello everybody and welcome back once again to my F1 2021 career mode. We are now on season 1, round 14. This is Brazil. If you haven't seen the last one, I urge you to go back and check that out before coming back and checking this one out. Just do it because I got my best result of the season, and coming off the back of that, I am feeling confident that in Sao Paulo we can follow it up with another strong points finish. But first up, we have to qualify, and that lap, not so bad, but I think we can do better. In fact, we're literally clinging on to qualifying here, so I've really got to find some extra pace. But is the pace that I've found going to be enough? Well, it moves me up to 14th. So, for now, yes, and in fact, we have got through Q1, but it's looking unlikely that we're going to find any more pace to get any further than that, and especially if I take that line round there. But it's time to really push on and try and get into Q3. We're in the last 3 races of the season now, and like I said last time out, I want to go out on the highest note possible. So that is what we're going to try and do, even with qualifying as well. But where is this going to put us? It's not enough for a top 10. It is not enough. But I'm not going to get too disheartened with that. We're only a second off, and I believe that our race pace is better than our qualifying pace, so I really believe that we can achieve a points finish in this race, even if the weather for the race has taken a massive, massive turn for the worst.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. But it's a wet one today, so grip and visibility will be at a premium. The drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's talk about Joker. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle.
A bad run?
Today they can get
The
through turn
fuck
1
you
cleanly
talking about?
and stay calm for the rest of the race.
I've had points in the last couple of races.
With
Naff
the
off.
minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Stroll, Joker, Raikkonen, Sainz and Antonio Giovinazzi. Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty. Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and Russell. Tsunoda, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Mick Schumacher. Schwartzman, Mazapin, they've taken a grid penalty. Gasly and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Wow, a huge mass of penalties then that's put me up from P14 to P7. Also, I got a giggle at me turning the mic on to give some live thoughts while I was recording this. I don't know what they're talking about. A bad run, especially after finishing P4 in Mexico. Never mind though, it's lights out and away we go here, and the amount of wheel spin I've got off the line is just unbelievable. I'm taking to the outside there to try and not hit anybody. We've lost a couple of positions off the line owing to the amount of wheel spin I had. We're now heading into turn 3, I think it is, or 4, I'm not quite sure which. And Ocon's having a look up the inside. I'm going to leave him some room, but, well, I'm able to hold it out around the outside. Interlagos for between the lakes. Well, the racetrack is a bloody lake at the moment. But, yeah, so we're down 2 places off our grid start. Raikkonen is in P7, Sainz in P8. So I instantly want to try and make those places up as quick as I can. But this circuit is like a skating rink. And the wet conditions on this game are just very tricky to handle. I'm struggling at the moment to just know when the right time to get the power down is and how much power I can put down out of the corners. So this is proving a bit of a challenge. But as we head on to lap 2, I've now got Lewis Hamilton right behind me, who... sorry, lap 3 even, who had a penalty and was forced backwards, and now he's coming alongside me there. Gonna leave him space, but I'm gonna try and hang him out around the outside, which I have done, but Lewis is still there, and he's just driven down the inside of me, and there was very little I could have done about that. Very good move by Lewis Hamilton to take P9 from me as he begins his recovery drive in what is a crucial championship race for him, because looking at the points gap from the last race, the championship can be settled. Don't ask me the logistics, I didn't make notes of it. I apologise. But we're now trying to catch up to this battle for P7, which includes Raikkonen, Sainz and Hamilton, who are now forming something of a train. And obviously without DRS in these conditions, it does just become a train, and it gets very, very difficult to overtake. And that's probably one of the downfalls of this game this season, is that in the wet weather, overtaking becomes very, very, very difficult, and you just end up waiting in a train. But I don't know if it's just me, but it's looking like the track is starting to dry out a little. So I'm almost thinking it's time for inters here, so I'm ducking into the pits to take that gamble. No one else has been in yet, so it's just me. So if I've called this wrong, I'm going to have a horse's head on my pillow. But, you know, you don't know anything unless you give it a go, so that's what we're doing right here, right now. We're going to head out of the pit lane. We've fallen to the back of the grid. Back of the grid? Back of the field, I should say. But we're on intermediate tyres now, and honestly, they're just offering me the grip that I need, and they seem to be quicker, albeit that drift there wasn't backing up my point, but that purple middle sector does, and it's definitely time for intermediate. So I'm hoping with that maybe I could have jumped a couple of guys. We're going to find out very soon. There's Raikkonen coming out of the pits, and I haven't quite jumped Raikkonen, unfortunately. I'm still behind him, albeit a little bit closer to him than what I was. And that fastest lap just showing how much it is ready for intermediates. Sainz is now coming out of the pits, along with Hamilton. Have we managed to get the jump on the pair of them? It's not looking like... yeah, we have got the jump on them. We have managed to get past both Hamilton and Sainz. So now we're racing Raikkonen for what would effectively be P7. But Mazapin is hogging it on full wets. And I've no idea why Mazapin's staying out. It's just Mazapin doing Mazapin things, I guess. Right, Hamilton's now having a look at me on the Senna S. His Mercedes is much quicker than my Joe H2O racing car, but hanging it out around the outside of the Senna S has paid off for me, and I am now still ahead of Hamilton. But coming down the straight again, Hamilton's got so much momentum on me, but I'm able just to cover him off, and that is exactly what we have done. Hamilton's still behind us for now, but I get the feeling he's going to come straight back at me down the inside here. And he's had a little cheeky look, but I have shut that one straight down. Bottas setting fastest laps miles ahead of this little scrap. And I'm still unable to get past Raikkonen. Raikkonen is the cork in this little bottle that is holding everybody back. And Hamilton now right up my rear end. Again having a look. I'm using the pit entrance there to try and cover him off. Hamilton, though, very determined and will banging there, bodging his way past me. He has got the move done, and now I've got to try and cover because Carlos Sainz is right there. And he's got Verstappen with him as well, so this is quite an intense little scrap involving some of the drivers that have had penalties in this race and had to fight their way back. I'm covering off from Carlos Sainz, covering left, covering right. And Carlos trying to find any way he can to pass me. but we are having the widest car on the grid right now because I'm not letting him go easy. I want these points, and I believe that when the conditions dry out, we can and we will be faster. So, try and have a look down the inside of Hamilton into Yung Chao. That's not a move that was going to ideally work, but he's still alongside us. He's still alongside us as we're coming up the hill. I've understood, I've gone into him, and that is a huge crash. That is a huge crash. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I've done the move on Hamilton, and that's done some damage to him. And I feel like I moved to the right as Hamilton moved to the left, and we both had a massive shunt there. I don't know how I'm still in the race. And there's Hamilton's perspective. Yeah, it looks like I just turned in on him. Someone smashed into Hamilton, and that is a horrific accident. And Yuki Tsunoda there, with nowhere to go and in the wrong place at entirely the wrong time. Well, what was he supposed to do in that situation? There was nothing more he could have done. So, I've now had to come into the pits to change my front wing. But yeah, like I said, I just understeered, went towards the right as Hamilton went to the left.
Green flag.
And then he got stuck on my car and we both had that horrible accident. Right, on the restart then, and look at that Williams just going full send with me. That is unbelievable bravery from that Williams. But yeah, we're back racing now, and I believe that was Nicholas Latifi who went complete send with me. I've gained a few positions at the Centre S, and I'm now in recovery mode. But as the track's starting to dry out, I'm also thinking, right, do I gamble for slicks at some point? As we manage to elbow our way past Mick Schumacher. That is for P13. So, getting a move on here now, and we're getting towards the points. Russell is next in the Williams.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Jeff has just confirmed now that we are going to be running on a dry track soon. Russell's coming into the pits. I'm coming into the pits. I'm sensing this is an opportunity to take on those dry weather tyres and just take a gamble. There's 17 laps to go, so I'm thinking going on a set of mediums until the end of the race wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Although a lot of the other guys are going on softs, and I'm stuck in the pits because some other guys were going through there, so I didn't manage to gain anything in that stop. But we're now on the move anyway. Everyone else is on soft tyres, so surely they're going to have to pit again. And that works in my favour, but the way that doesn't work, of course, is that the guys behind me are going to have much grippier, much warmer tyres while the track is still damp. And that is Alonso right behind me, looking for a way through as more cars are in the pits. What position do we move up to as a result of this? Well, let me cover Fernando Alonso first, and I'll tell you. It looks like we're going to be in P11. Just behind Max Verstappen. Oh no, we've got ahead of Verstappen, but now we've got Alonso still to cover off, who wants that final points position. George Russell nicely in the points there in P8. So who knows, maybe this race could end in points for him at this stage. Still quite a bit of this race to go yet, and now we've covered Alonso. We've got Verstappen, who's got past Alonso now, right behind us. Oh my days, I'm not getting a single moment in this race. This race is just action all the way. Now Verstappen's coming straight for me. Down the long straight towards the Centre S. We're covering the inside line. Verstappen is on my right, I'm on the left. And we've gone down the inside and we have covered him, but I've gone wide there. I'm off the circuit there. I don't know how I got away with that one without a warning. Now coming down the straight, you can see Verstappen's having a look down the inside. I'm trying to cover him. I'm doing too much weaving. Verstappen's gone into me there. I tried leaving him space. Verstappen went into me. Round he goes, and that is a traffic jam. That is the M25 on a quiet day. And the safety car came out to deal with that. But after the safety car comes in, we are back racing. A lot of the runners in front of us also made pit stops. So we are now up into P3 in this mental Grand Prix. But we've now got drivers on fresh, soft tyres attacking me. as Charles Leclerc, sorry, has a look down my inside. He's keeping his car down the inside there to try the Hamilton move on me. He's still alongside, and you know what? If I'd have carried on going for that move, he would have gone into me. Norris now down my inside to try and take P4. I've gone way too wide there, and now Alonso's having a look at P5. Alonso is taking P5. And, wow, I am just... It is candy from a baby while I'm on these used medium tyres. And these guys have got their fresh soft tyres. So I am just slipping back like wildfire. But I'm now going to try and get back into Perez's slipstream to try and take P6. Oh my days, this is madness, this Grand Prix. And we've had a bit of a weird skip there. This is an issue that PlayStation has, but I did try the dive on Perez, and I just went straight across the centre S, and I've lost the place to Vettel as well. Yeah, when recording straight on PS4, this is an issue that does turn up sometimes. Down my inside then is Daniel Ricciardo taking P8, so we've lost another position. And we're just dropping positions. Like, my positions are dropping like flies. And there's not an awful lot I can do on these worn medium tyres. I've gone wide, and that's allowing Giovinazzi a look at me now, but I'm holding that one out. And someone pitted in front of me. I didn't see who it was. And now Stroll's gone down my inside. Look at the speed and momentum he has. That is unreal. I don't know what I did wrong there for him to have that much momentum. We've got a yellow flag now as someone's gone off. I can't see who it is. I'm too busy covering off Giovinazzi to see what went on behind me. But we're going to get a look now, and that is Nikita Mazapin retiring from the race. So Mazepin's got an issue of sorts, and he is pulling off to retire. Meanwhile, we're watching a Williams having the same issue. I believe that's Nicholas Latifi out of the race. And meanwhile, back with the running hitter, we've got Giovinazzi down my inside. Oh, give me a break. Oh, I've had a break. The safety car has come out. And that has saved my bacon. A few cars have pitted as well. And that has done me a huge favour. Because now we're back into P7. We're back in the real running for this one here. As I'm going to take a look up the inside of Stroll. And we've got the move on Stroll done. So I think Alonso was one of those that pitted. But now Raikkonen is having a look at taking P6 off me. Down the outside there for turn 3. And look at the traffic jam of cars behind me. All of them on fresh soft tyres. While I'm on these used mediums. And I'm just not getting the grip. I've gone wide there. Raikkonen's gone past me. So too has George Russell in P7. How about that? You see me? That was just my own mistake there. I went completely wide and I lost 2 places. One to Raikkonen, one to Russell. But we're holding up Gasly and what I think is Stroll. And this is going to be our teammate Schwartzman tagging a Ferrari. Just, what are you doing, Rob? What are you doing? Right, Stroll's now coming at me for P8 as we start the last lap of this race. I'm trying to cover around the outside. I'm really trying to cover. I've bullied him wide there, and that's not worked for him. Gasly's now on my left. Gasly's got, well, he's got the place. Gasly's got the place after I made that hideous mistake out of the centre S and lost momentum. Gasly has now got past me. And the next car behind me is Mick Schumacher, would you believe it? Mick Schumacher running in P10. So I'm trying to stay confident I can stay ahead of him and use, well, the speed advantage that this car has over the Haas. But, yeah, what a crazy race this has been. Obviously hampered by the fact that, ooh, I'm very sideways there. I wouldn't know where to begin, like, the changeable conditions, the incident with Hamilton that really set me back, taking on the medium tyres, which in theory was the right thing to do until the safety cars came out, but towards the end, you know, we were just a sitting duck for those on the soft tyres. But it is P9, it is 2 points, I can't really complain too much about that. I think I need a lie down after that race.
And with that, points, another year of Formula One draws to a close. And the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
So working their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Valtteri, it's James. Even though you're world champion, we need you to surrender your points to... I'm joking. Yeah, Bottas then has clinched the Drivers' Championship with 2 races to go here. What an OP performance from him. I don't know where to start with that race, really. Obviously, my incident with Hamilton probably helped sew up the Drivers' Championship in Bottas' favour. But that knocked me back a few places, but making the right decision with tyres early on helped move me forwards a bit more. But then as soon as the race went on, and all the other drivers had fresher, soft tyres, which would have been super quick, we just didn't have the pace or the traction to hold everyone back. It was crazy how much defending I had to do, but we did manage to hold on to a points-paying position in the end, P9. I'm still 11th in the Drivers' Championship, and we're still 7th in the Constructors' Championship with 2 races to spare. Like I said, I think I need a lie down after that one. With all the defending I had to do right at the end, I did make a handful of mistakes in that race as well. Like, without that, I feel like we could have probably kept Kimi and George behind us, but it is what it is. Anyway, enjoy the highlights reel. I will see you again next time. Don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button and join me the next time I release content. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon.